welcome to our e-commerce lecture for week 10. So our topic for this day is social network, the mobile platform, and cloud security issues. The topic objectives for this week, you are expected to identify the social network, the mobile platform, and the cloud security issues, and understand how to protect the internet connections. So let us define first what are the social media, the mobile platform, and the cloud security. Social network, so the use of internet is based on the social media sites which may remain linked with our friends, our relatives, and peers in social networking. The social networking is used by the advertiser to boost the brand awareness and promote the brand loyalty. Social networking helps promote the voice and content on a company because it makes the business more often to potential consumers and more familiar to the current consumers. If we say mobile platform class, according to Browse Encyclopedia, the hardware or a software environment for laptops, tablets, smartphone, and other portable devices. Those are what we call the mobile platform. So we have the Windows and Mac which dominate the laptop world with the Linux or the Centered, and then we have iOS for Apple, Android for Google, which rule the smartphone universe, and we also have the platform. We have the iOS, Apple, Android for Google, and Windows for Microsoft. And if we say cloud computing, this is the delivery of the different services through the internet. So these resources include the tools and applications like this data storage. We have the servers, databases, networking, and the software. Not paying attention on the social media, it can have the significant implications not to pay attention to the presence of the social media. You will not understand how it is spread to your followers if you leave an account unmonitored and it becomes the victims of the malicious attack like viruses. And if your followers start getting spam messages from your account, they will lose their faith and trust in your brand quickly. And then we also have the human error as one of the social network security issues. Class, this is considered as the most popular social media security vulnerability, which is what we call the human error. Disgruntled workers airing their dirty laundry or posting the naughty images on the company pages are just an appetizers. Although it is also threatening the reputations of the company. And then we also have more significant security threats such as the phishing attacks, scams, and other cyber annoyances, and often triggered by the human error. So the people click on the phishing connections unknowingly, connect with the fake account, or fill out the spam from the confidential information accidentally. And then that the compliance problem specific to the companies operating within the controlled sectors are not caused by unintentional posting of sensitive personal information by staff or consumers on the public forums. How about the malicious apps? Malicious apps, this is the web that is infected with the malicious malware, and it's just getting worse. So, for example, the spyware in any program that without your permission collects the personal information or sends spams advertisements. So, in much the same manner, the adware records your personal and confidential details without you knowing all the malicious apps steal stuff like the personal and confidential information like password and other data. So before you click or share the details, just like having the street smart sting. And then we also have the social scams and phishing attacks. The phishing scams use the social media to trick the individuals into giving the personal information such as the banking details and passwords, like the malicious apps that attempts to collect the sensitive data. On the major social media networks like Facebook and Twitter, as well as the Instagram and LinkedIn, phishing attempts are up to 150% this year. So the social scam range from the fake customers service account on the friend's fake account. To spammy social comment competitions that invite you to buy this or click this. And then we have the malware attacks and hacks. The good hackers there are, and also the bad hackers are there. So by pushing the IT departments and defense products to continuously innovate, some aim to enhance the internet security, while others hack for fun or to make a buck. So the attacks where the cyber gangs go after the individual organizations with the sophisticated malware campaigns which can be oriented and targeted. So other hacks arrive slowly, building up over time with a smaller phishing attempt. So the main safety risks to organizations on the social media are hacking and the malware attacks. How about the mobile platform security issues? Security threats to mobile devices are on the increase. In 2014, almost 3.5 million pieces of malware were found by Kaspersky on over the million of computers. So the processing of the in-lab detections of technologies by the Kaspersky surpassed the 360,000 malicious files per day by 2017. And 78% of those files were malware programs, which means that over the 280,000 malware files every day, many of which target the mobile devices were found. So we have this kind of mobile platform issues, and one of them is the data leakage. The data leakage, the mobile apps are often the cause of unintentional data leakage. The risk where application, for instance, pose a real problem for mobile users who grant wide permissions but do not always check the protections. There are usually free applications that function as advertised in official app stores, but often send the personal and possibly corporate data to a remote server where it is minded by advertisers and often cyber criminals. And then we also have the unsecured Wi-Fi. So when the wireless hotspots are available, no one wants to burn through their cellular details. But free Wi-Fi networks are normally unsecured. So they were compromised by their social media, the PayPals, and even their conversation. So they use free Wi-Fi sparingly on the mobile devices to be secure and never use it to access the private or personal resources such as the banks. And then we also have the so-called the network spoofing or the spoofing. The network spoofing is when the hackers in the high traffic public places such as the coffee shops, the libraries, has this the Wi-Fi look-like links or networks. So to enable the users to connect, the cyber criminals offer the common names like free, coffee, Wi-Fi, or airport free Wi-Fi to access the points. And then we also have the phishing attacks. If we say phishing attacks, they are the frontliners of the most phishing attacks since the mobile devices are still powered on. So the mobile users are more sensitive according to CSO because they also track their emails in the real time, opening and reading emails that they were sent, and the users of the mobile devices are also vulnerable because less information is displayed by the email apps to fit the smaller screen sizes. So, for example, even when opened, an email can only show the name of the sender unless that information header is extended. Another mobile platform security issues is what we call the spyware. The spyware, although many smart phones user class worry about the sending data streams back to cyber criminals with malware, there is a main danger closer to home, the spyware. So in a certain cases, the users need not be concerned about the malware from the unknown attackers, but rather the spyware installed by the spouses, the co-workers, or employees to keep tracks of their locations and behavior. So it is also known as the stalkware. Without their permissions or knowledge, many of these apps are designed to be loaded on the target device. And then we also have the broken cryptography. When any app developers use weak encryptions algorithms or fail to properly enforce the strong encryptions, the broken cryptography will occur. So in first case, the developers can, despite their own vulnerabilities, use familiar encryption algorithms to speed up the process of the app creation. So as a result, the vulnerabilities to break the password and gain access can be abused by any motivated intruder. So in the second example, the developers use the algorithm that are highly protected but leave them open on the backdoors that restrict their effectiveness. And then we have the improper session handling. So many applications make use of the tokens to promote the easy access for mobile device purchases, enabling the users to perform many acts without being asked to re-authenticate their identities. The tokens are created by the apps to recognize and validate devices, much like the password for users. So with each access attempts or the session protected apps create the new tokens which should remain confidential. Another mobile platform security issues is the smishing. Like phishing scams, the cyber criminals attempts to trick the people into downloading the malware, clicking on the malicious links, or disclosing the sensitive information. A smishing attack is launched through the text messages instead of email. And then we also have the beyond. As the business users are granted the high-level access from the personal mobile devices, smartphones and tablets are effectively replacing the desktop for many business tasks. However, the personal mobile devices don't offer the same level of built-in security or control as the organization-owned desktop computers they are replacing. And then we also have the Internet of Things with the number of types of the smart devices class from the RFID chips to the thermostats and even the kitchen appliances growing so quickly, they can't always be monitored by users or antivirus solutions. This makes the Internet of Things devices an attractive target for hackers who use them as the entry points to the larger network. How about the cloud security issues? Plus, we also have the misconfiguration. This is a leading cause of the cloud data breaches and cloud security settings. So, the cloud security posture management techniques for any companies are insufficient to secure their cloud-based infrastructure. And then we also have the unauthorized access. Unauthorized access, so their cloud-based deployments are beyond the network perimeter and freely available from the public internet. Unlike the on-site networks of organizations, although this is an advantage for the workers and consumers to access this technology, it also makes it possible for an attacker to obtain unauthorized access to the cloud-based services of the organization. So, improperly designed protections or compromised credentials will make it possible for the attacker to gain the direct access. So, likely without the organization's knowledge. How about class the insecure interfaces? Insecure interfaces, so the cloud service provider or the CSP often provide a several application programming interface and interfaces for their customers. So in general, these interfaces are well documented to make them easily usable for the cloud service provider customers. And then we have the hijacking of accounts. So as the companies are increasingly dependent on the cloud-based technology and applications for core business functions, account hijacking is one of the more severe cloud security problems. So the sensitive data or the features can be accessed by an attacker with the employee's credentials and compromise the customer credentials, offer their online account full power. So in addition, the companies also lack the ability to detect and respond to this risk as effectively on the on-site infrastructures in the cloud. And then we have the external sharing of data. So the cloud is designed to make the data sharing easy. So many clouds provide the option to explicitly invite a collaborator via the email or to share links that enables anyone with a URL to access the shared resource. So it is possible, class, to forward the shared connection to someone else stolen as part of the cyber attack or guessed by a cyber criminal, giving the shared resource unauthorized access. So furthermore, this link-based sharing makes it difficult to remove the access to only a single shared link users. So those are the cloud security issues. How about protecting internet communications? Plus, we have this, what we call the encryption. Encryption is the process of transforming the plain text or data into a ciphertext with nobody other than the sender and the receiver can read. So the purpose of the encryption is to secure the stored information and secure the transmission of information. The ciphertext is a text encrypted and thus cannot be read by someone other than the sender and the receiver. And then we also have the key cipher, which refers to any method used to convert the plain text to a cipher text. We also have the substitution cipher, wherein every occurrence of the given letter is replaced systematically by another letter. And then we also have the transposition cipher. The ordering of the letters in each word is changed in some systematic way. We also have the symmetric key encryption or the secret key encryptions. So both the sender and the receiver use the same key to encrypt and decrypt the message. Two mathematically connected digital keys are used to public key cryptography. So a public key and a private key, and the owner keeps the private key safe and the public key is widely disseminated. So a message can be encrypted and decrypted using both keys. So if the key is used to encrypt the message, however, the same key cannot be used to encrypt the message. And then we also have the digital envelope. Class, this is a technique that uses the symmetric encryption for large documents, but public key encryption to encrypt and send the symmetric key. How about the digital certificate? It is a digital document issued by a trusted third-party institutions knowing a certification authority or the CA that contains the name of the subject or a company and the subject public key, a digital certificate serial number, an expiration date, an issuance date, and the digital signature of the certification authority, and the name of the CA, encrypt with the using the CA private key and other identifying information. So the public key infrastructure, PK, refers to the CAs and the digital certificate procedures which all parties accept after signing into a safe site URL. This means the digital certificate issued by the trusted CA is available on the site. Presumably, it is not a spoof site. So that is our presumption. Plus, these are the references that are used for this week topic. So you can visit their sites for further studies. So these are the references. Thank you and good day.